We're looking to establish quite a few things. Certainly on the technical level, we're looking to kind of get some foundation set with passing, with serving, with how we run our offense, with how we train in the gym. And we're really trying to kind of establish our personality and what is this team, what do they do, what are we special at, what do we do well, and to really kind of embrace that. Yeah, we've kept Megan Burton. She was here last year, and she's been great, first rate. She helped in the transition a ton, just kind of knowing how we do things here in a department. And then she's been first rate with recruiting. We've also added Tyson Norton as our other assistant. He came up from UC Santa Barbara where he was coaching with the men. He's been really good in the gym. We're going to add 2 other coaches actually this week. Vish is coming to us from Boston College. She had played at Florida State. They went to the Final Four when she was a player there. She was an All-American, so she's going to be our graduate assistant. And then we had Jordan Reeder, who's a local product, just finished up at Cornell playing her volleyball there, and she'll be our volunteer assistant. You know, I think we're going to be looking for the same things in the preseason that we are in the regular season, and that is kind of being focused on our side of the net, trying to do what we want to do, whether it's Cal or somebody else. Obviously, Cal and Santa Clara are both very strong traditionally, and so they're going to be a handful, but we're not focused specifically on just trying to win a bunch of matches. We're really trying to do it our way and focus on our side of the net. You know, and if we can do that, then I'm going to be happy with the results. I know that some of the top teams are very good. Obviously, Colorado State is a perennial top 10 team. I think a few years ago they went into the NCAA as undefeated. So we know that we're going to get challenged every night. There's a lot of quality opponents. But similar to when we play Cal and Santa Clara, we're really going to be focused on our side. We'll obviously have a scouting report and make some adjustments based on who we're playing, but it's going to be about us trying to do what we want to do and controlling the match that way. So I think we can do well, but you know, I'm not thinking that far out. We've got a lot of matches before us. We've got a lot of practicing to do to kind of get our things set first. So hopefully well, and we'll find out pretty soon. You know, I think you always want to defend your home floor. I mean, that's where we practice every day. We should have an advantage in the sense that we know the place, we're comfortable, we have our routines, so that's an advantage. You know, it's not just trying to get some wins. Miami, Ohio is going to be a challenging opponent, so they're definitely going to test us, as well as the other 2 teams in that tournament. That's a good, solid tournament. But yeah, you want to be able to, you play half your matches at home, so you want to be able to play well there consistently, and you really don't have an excuse not to. You know the place better than anybody else. So yeah, we'd love to come in and win that tournament, but really we're going to take one match at a time, one set at a time, one play at a time, and that's going to be our focus throughout that tournament and hopefully throughout the season. So from Morel on the right side, she had a great spring, small injury right at the end, but I think she's recovered from that. I'm going to expect her to do some good things on the right side, both offensively and defensively. Foley on the outside is going to have to be an anchor for us. You know, she's not a 6'3" outside that's going to bomb balls over people, but she's really skilled at every part of the game. She passes well, she attacks well, she's a good blocker, she can play defense, good server. So we're going to ask her to be real steady for us, night in, night out. You know, I don't know if we replace Tessa. Tessa was a pretty big physical athlete, and that's all right. Players graduate. She's going on to play pro abroad, and that's good for her. I think Sam's maybe a little bit different kind of player. Sam doesn't have that same physical presence, but Sam is a little bit like Foley in the version of the middle blocker, just real skilled at a lot of different things. Can attack, can block, also a good server, just real smart kid, real focused, just knows how to compete, kind of is definitely a leader on this team, but a quiet leader. You know, she's not the rah-rah leader. She's the one that looks at a situation, figures out what we need to do to be successful, and then works towards doing that herself and getting her teammates to do that as well. We had some pretty good practices in the spring. We didn't really have a starting lineup. We were shuffling people different spots. I think Peyton has a physicality that could serve her very well in our conference. She still has some things to kind of figure out. She was coming off knee surgery and had quite a bit of time off from volleyball, and she's still kind of getting back in that rhythm. I think, and figuring out what it takes to play at Division I, but she could be a surprise. You know, Gabby's kind of, she's a local product, kind of a quiet kid out there, but just a blue-collar worker, kind of grinder. And Jamila is still kind of a question mark for us, and just in the sense that she hasn't been in our gym yet. You know, she's our only freshman, and that can be a little tough settling in when you don't have some other freshmen to kind of go through the process with. But in talking to the team, she's really kind of gelled quickly, you know, and that's maybe a little bit of a surprise since she is the only freshman. But she gets along with everybody well. She's doing well in the weight room. She's really settling in quickly, and so she could be too. But it's too early for me to know because I haven't had a chance to coach her yet, and we're just not sure where she's at. She's just young, and she's only been here just over a month from South Carolina, so it's going to take her probably a little while to make that transition.